Yes, team, and welcome back to the channel. So it is the morning after the high day that we did run yesterday on the previous YouTube, and body weight has actually come down ever so slightly. So yesterday morning, let's have a look. Let's update you guys. So Friday morning, which was yesterday, I was 90.8. And then I weighed in the evening after a full day of eating 800 grams of carbs, and it was total of like 4,700 calories. We weighed in the evening at 92.8, so dead on 2 kilo rise. And then this morning I was 90.75. So we're down 0.05 after eating 4,700 calories. So I'm not sure what the protocol and plan is going to be today. I've sent Ben my updates in terms of body weight. I don't need to send him photos because we are going to train this morning. So you'll have a look at me post-workout. But I've prepped my usual training day food for today, which is obviously less calories than it was yesterday on the high day. But it's whether we do run another high day today. We'll see. And that will either be from more squares bars as I'm driving home, or like I said in yesterday's video, what I wouldn't mind is like usual, just training day food, and then when I get back to mine tonight, have a bowl of cream of rice, just to get in some more carbohydrates. But we'll soon see. It could just be a case of like, let's just get back to digging, which I'll have no problem with if that is the case. But I had some photos back. From the push day that we done yesterday, and then some posing. And I'll put up 2 photos from my back shot, because I looked at them this morning and I was like, fuck, we're looking good. Like lower back is pretty dug out. Abs are looking good. So from a visual standpoint, like I'm in my head about condition. Like, am I going to be conditioned enough? Yeah, we'll be conditioned. We'll be conditioned. That is not going to be an issue, guys. That is not going to be an issue. But before I go, it's 5 o'clock now. I was up at 3:45. Not the best sleep last night. But on my ring, 6 hours 28. I know I was pretty disturbed. I did wake up a couple of times to go for a piss. But usually when I wake up, I just start work. I come downstairs, I open up the laptop, and I just start work. But because I know I've got the drive home, which is going to take me like 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours, I was like, right, let's go back to sleep. You don't want to be drowsy driving home. Just sort your head out and go back to sleep. So it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, right, let's get back to sleep. Managed to drop back off. Woke up, come down, weighed, had a shower, sorted my food out for today. So what I've done is I've put salt on my food, I've put my hot sauce on my food, so they're in the fridge. All I have to do is put them in my cool box, ready to take back, ready to put in the car just before I leave. But the car is near enough packed and we're ready. I've just got my walking pad to go in there, but obviously I'm going to do some steps this morning, and then just like my food and stuff then. But we're going to get into some work this morning. There's a few check-ins to do, just so that when I go back later, I don't have a shit ton of check-ins to do, and the lads have their feedback nice and early. So I'm going to power through some check-ins. Me and Ben are going to train nice and early today. We did train at 9 a.m. yesterday, but we're going to train at 8 a.m. this morning, which suits me. Like, I've been up for an hour. It's 5, so I've been up since 4. I don't really want to be waiting around, I'd rather just have my cream of rice, have my squares bars, go and train, go through some posing with Ben, and then just get back home. Prep my food for tomorrow, get all up to date with work, and then back in usual routine. But I've loved this trip, guys. I've loved this trip. It's been enjoyable. It's worth it. It's worth it. Like, yes, obviously you're paying for an Airbnb, you've got the travel, but I would do it again, and this is the thing, like, I want to make memories from this trip as well. Not so much from the trip, from the prep. You know, I want to make memories from the prep. For example, the sessions with Ben, for example, coming up here, you know, the travel to the show. We're going to do 3 shows, I think, guys. It's going to be crazy. We're going to be doing 3 shows. We got PCA on the 27th. We got 2 Bros on the 4th. And then the Pro qualifier then, which is going to be middle to end of July. I'm going to have a look at the dates now, to be fair. So that will be 3 trips. But what I'm going to love is obviously documenting these for YouTube and then looking back on them 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. You know, just looking back at these videos and reminiscing over the bodybuilding days. So, yeah, today's video then, guys. Today's video, just so I can give you a little bit of an update on where I'm at this morning. But today's video, what I'll do is I'll make sure I film more than 2 or 3 of my pull exercises. I won't take you through a full day of eating. I basically done that yesterday. I don't want this to be boring for you guys. I'll show you more of my training, show you more of the gym. I'll take my camera in the gym. And then when I get back tonight, give you guys an update, update you on where I'm at, protocol, and then also walk through the training clips. Instead of me going through the training clips in the car, I'll finish the session, get in the car, drive home, and then when I get home later, I'll sort myself out, get up to date with all client work, and then I'll finish off the YouTube video. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. A little bit of an update on where I'm at. Let's get into some check-ins. Let's get into some work. And let's attack the day. Let's attack the day. Let's get after it. I've woke up hungry. After a high day, I always fucking do. I always wake up even hungrier than what I usually am. So getting straight into work is going to take my mind off food and focus on work. So if you are hungry, if you're in the depths of a fat loss phase, a prep, normal fat loss phase, whatever phase you may be in, keep yourself occupied, keep yourself busy, because it does help. Rather than me just being sat here thinking, when's my next meal? Let's get ahead of work. So let's attack the day and let's get it done, guys. Right then, so we've just pulled up at S20 Fitness where we were training yesterday. It is currently 10 to 8. So 10 minutes early, but I always like to be early. I've got 2 squares bars to have and my pre-workout. So I'm going to sink that in the car. I'm absolutely freezing. So I'm sat in the car, heated seats, heated steering wheel. I'd rather be nice and warm going into the session than just sat in like the cafe area. So Ben will probably be here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So squares, pre-workout, and then we'll go and hit a big meaty pull session. Yes team, so that is the gym session wrapped up and we are currently about like an hour into the journey on the way home. So I had my post-workout cereal. I've just popped off in the services, got myself a black coffee with sugar-free caramel. Lads, if you're dieting, you know, make sure that you're being mindful of calories that are in coffee. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved to have gone in there, cappuccino. Oh, I would have loved a nice cappuccino, to be fair, but it contains a shit ton, well, not a shit ton, but it contains unnecessary calories that can easily be avoided. So black coffee it is with sugar-free caramel, so 0 calories. But what we're gonna do, I've obviously got my food with me. It is currently 11:45, so I get home, if I don't stop, I'll get home at 3 o'clock. But I am gonna stop because I'm gonna have a meal. Right, let me just make sure I'm getting off on the right turn in. Right, we're in. Last thing we want to do, guys, is fucking crash. Because I know my old man will be watching this as well, and I'm in his car with a camera and maps on my leg. So I do apologise, Dad, but I'm almost on the motor. Right, I can put that away. So anyway, where was I? Food. So 11:45 now. What I would ideally like to do is eat at 2 o'clock, which would be my chicken and rice, and then I've got my other 2 meals prepped with me, but I'll have them when I get home. just because I can have them warm as well then. But I tell you what, chicken and rice cold is actually banging. But once again, that is from someone who is food focused and starving on a daily basis. But I recorded the full session, guys. I recorded the full session. So what I'll do later on tonight, when I've got home, when I've caught up with client work, when steps are done, I'll get them training clips reviewed. We had a really good pull session and I was feeling good. I was feeling good, even though weight was down ever so slightly, 0.05. The pumps were fucking mad. My lats were blown, delts were looking grainy, and from the second exercise, I was just like, I'm pumped as shit. Like even just like doing that on my arm, I was like, this is feeling good. This is feeling good. So, Proviron already kicking in maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But we're gonna head back. I'm not gonna bore you guys too much like the traveling stuff because a lot of that was covered in yesterday's video. But what I'll do is I'll pick up with you guys maybe when I have my meal in the services, give you guys a bit of an update, or just when I get back tonight, because I want this YouTube to be like mainly around like my pull day, you know, going through my pull day and giving you guys some value when it comes to exercise execution. But what me and Ben have spoke about, baseline training day food today, no direct changes, so unfortunately no additional squares bars, no additional cream of rice, but I'm okay with that anyway. I'm going to send daily updates over to him now, so every morning body weight photos, and then my weekly check-in is on a Tuesday. So what we're going to do is we're going to trial a peak week. So we're going to load on the Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and then see how I'm looking on Saturday. I got push on Saturday, so see how I'm looking on Saturday, and if we've got the look nailed, we know exactly what we're going to be doing for the show itself. So I'm feeling good, guys. I'm feeling good. I got a coffee, got my sugar-free caramel, nice coffee. So I'm going to have this, stick a podcast on, and drive for the next hour before we do have my next meal, which will be chicken, rice, veg, and some Tabasco sriracha. So I'll see you guys soon. Right then, second pit stop. We've just pulled up at the services because I am going to absolutely piss myself. But it looks like a shit services. That's going off. Happy days. But I'm gonna piss myself. I'm starving, so we're gonna have my next meal in the car. But yeah, we're at services. I need a piss. That's gonna be doing your head in. So I'll catch you guys for my next meal. Back in the car, and we are in for our next meal, which is gonna be chicken, rice, and veg. So unfortunately, we only have a measly portion of rice in this meal, 50 gram. With us being back onto baseline food, but the good thing is it is slightly higher protein. So instead of the 150 grams of chicken breast, we have 170. Instead of the 50 grams of veg, we have 100 grams of veg. But then rice is down to 50, not 120, which it was on the high day, which would have been yesterday's YouTube. So I'm actually buzzing for this. It smells banging. We've got one Coke Zero. I'm limiting these to only one a day as well. I find when I go like more Coke Zero to try and like minimize like cravings and appetite, I find I just get like bad digestion, feel as if I just get too bloated. So the best thing is just going for one a day basically. So I'm gonna have this. We've got an hour and a half left of the journey then, so not far at all, to be fair. Get back, get all up to date with client work. I'll reply to WhatsApp messages now, and then unload the car, have a nice shower, and then just get behind the laptop. Get tomorrow all planned. Probably get ahead of some check-ins, just because tomorrow's going to be busy. We've got a call booked in for 9:30. We've got a call at 4. I've got legs to do. Good thing is though, no cardio tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. It'll be good to train legs and then just leave, rather than legs and 30 minutes of cardio. So let's get back to some client work. well, client WhatsApps, let's have this meal, and then we hit the road for the final stretch. Yes, team, we are back home. We are behind the laptop. We are in the kitchen, and it feels good to be back. Feels good to be back. Felt flaggy though towards the end of that trip. Jesus, felt flaggy. But I've got my food prepped already for tomorrow. To-do list is up to date, so I thought let's cap off this YouTube video before I have to take my parents to their friend's house at 7 o'clock tonight, which isn't going to be ideal, but I'll come back, I'll have my last meal, and I'll hit the sack and hopefully have a good night's sleep, because tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. A couple of calls, check-ins, legs, post this YouTube. Yeah, so Sundays, I like to start my Sunday. I like to start my week on a Sunday, really. You know, get a heavy bulk of the check-ins done on Sunday, so it sets the tone for the Monday. But let's get into the training clips. So, first exercise. What we have here is the pullover. Now, what I would usually do for the pullover is I would usually have a rope attachment, but we've gone for like the easy bar attachment. This morning session still felt very good, don't get me wrong, but I do feel when you are using a rope, you can get your elbows tighter and just feel it a lot more on the lats. But what I'm thinking about doing here is keeping a nice, strong, solid base, you know, core nice and tight. And then what I'm thinking about is I'm dragging my elbows in to my ribs, essentially, into my hip. I'm thinking elbows down. I'm not thinking hands down. A lot of people can feel this on their triceps, and that is because they're initiating it by like sort of pressing it down. We want to think of elbows down. We're initiating the movement through the elbows. Then, next exercise, your standard, your lat pull down. So, hammer strength lat pull down here. I did think it was the Atlantis one. It is very similar. But lat pull down, you can't really go wrong with a lat pull down. Even though there was a wide range of back kit here, I really enjoyed this. Really smooth. Really thinking about opening them lats at the top. So, when I'm coming into the stretch, I'm really thinking stretch them lats. Stretch them lats. Once again, using my elbows to initiate that movement coming down. And as you can see towards the end of the set, my grip is gone. You know, my grip is completely gone. I'm literally holding the bar by my fingertips. And this is why having lifting straps is so, so important, guys. You know, because that set would have been done 5 reps ago. You know, but the lifting straps are keeping me locked in. You know, it's taking the tension off my bicep, taking the tension off my forearm. Of course, there's still tension there, but like it's not my bicep and forearm that's doing the work. It is going to be my lats. So, elbows down, chest nice and proud, and make sure you're using lifting straps. Next exercise, we have the prime row. So, staple, you know, I use the prime row in Hubbard Gym. I use it back when I'm in Dubai. Such a good chest supported row, this, you know, and what I'm thinking about is dragging my elbows beyond my rib cage, you know, so really pulling back as hard as I can, keeping my chest firmly against that pad. And when I do come into the stretch, I'm thinking about hugging my chest and my shoulders, so really bringing them shoulders forward. You know, that is what we want to think about here, is lengthening the upper back fibers as much as we can, and then elbows back beyond torso. Very good piece of kit. Really enjoyed this one. Next exercise, the single arm nitro pull down. Now, I did overshoot this. I think I had like 6 or 7 reps. Once again, though, keeping that chest nice and proud. Lifting straps on. Elbow nice and tight to my rib cage. And all I'm thinking is scooping that elbow forward and then back. I'm not just thinking yanking it like straight back here. Forward, down, and sort of scoop into your hip. The burn that I had on this was crazy, to be fair. Went slightly lighter in the back off to get 12 plus reps, but that felt immense. Really, really good. T-bar row, heavy T-bar row this. 4 plates, was happy with 4 plates 2 weeks out. But once again, chest firmly against that pad, hugging the pad with my shoulders as I do come into the stretch. And then once again, similar to the prime row, getting them elbows beyond rib cage. Okay? But this was fucking tough. This was tough. Came off this and I was like, need to get my breath back. but took the assisted one with Ben at the end and then racked it. So into the next exercise, we have another row, but we've got the single arm row here. Once again, this nitro piece is just so smooth, so smooth. Very similar to the other exercises, elbow down. That's all I'm thinking about when it comes to training lats, right? Or any back is arm path and where the elbow is finishing. The elbow isn't finishing wide. The elbow's not finishing out here. The elbow's finishing there. Nice and tight to the rib cage. Chest stays nice and proud. And I'm thinking elbow to pocket. Scoop it in. Squeeze, good contraction. And then come slowly into the eccentric. Final exercise of back. We have the assisted pull-up. I'm loving assisted pull-ups at the minute. I feel they're so good. You know, so good. When I'm coming down into the stretch, I'm really letting my lats stretch open here. You know, really letting them lats stretch. Chest proud, keeping that chest nice and proud throughout. But this fried my lats. You know, back end of a pull session, you know, after doing all them heavy rows and heavy pulls, finishing off on an assisted pull-up just felt epic. You know, and I might actually continue to keep this in. If I train in a gym that has assisted pull-ups, I will definitely be doing this as a finisher. And then to finish off, we done 4 sets on this preacher curl. Nitro again, I think it is, felt fucking fantastic. Felt really, really good. But with the preacher curl, what I'm thinking here is I've got my armpit essentially pinched into the pad, because what that will do is it will stop this, right? So it'll stop the shoulder movement. It keeps my arm in a fixed position. And then as I'm coming into the contraction, I'm thinking triceps into the pad, keep my elbow nice and tight, and all that's moving is the forearm forward, forearm forward, and then forearm to my face. You know, just thinking bicep, bicep, bicep. But this fucking fried me. Absolutely fried me towards the end. 4 sets in this, and I was absolutely blown. But that was this session. So it was a great session, to be fair. Fantastic session. You know, I'll get a photo of me and Ben. He posted it, to be fair, on his page. I'll get that photo. I'll put that on the screen as well. Show you guys how I'm looking front on in my boxers. But yeah, we go again tomorrow. I'm gonna start editing this YouTube video now so I can get this posted either tonight or tomorrow, which will be on Sunday. But I feel absolutely wiped, so I'm gonna make sure that everything's all up to date this evening. You know, WhatsApps, to-do list, everything. Make sure that everything's all up to date so that tomorrow I can wake up and just crack on. Supplements are already out for tonight. Got my food prep for tomorrow. So yeah, preparation's key, guys. As soon as I pulled up to the house, sorted myself out, you know, made sure that everything was put in the wash. Had a nice bath, to be fair. Bath was fucking banging. And we're just going to make sure that we're ahead for tomorrow. You know, every night when I go to bed, I make sure that I'm going into tomorrow or the following day knowing that I'm all up to date on everything. So thank you guys for watching once again. I really appreciate the views. Not that it's in the hundreds and hundreds yet, but hopefully we'll get there. But please like, please comment, please subscribe. Even a comment, guys. Even a comment would be greatly appreciated, to show that you guys are enjoying these videos as well. Because as you can imagine, being this deep into a prep, with all this travel, with all this work that I've got to do, you know, keeping on top of the prep for myself as well, it is very challenging. It's very challenging, it's very taxing, but I want to bring you guys along the journey with me as well. So please show your boys some support. But I will catch you guys in the next one.